Hello, everyone. Good night for you all. Good night for the ones who are in Brazil, and good afternoon for everyone who is in Colombia. My name is Julia. I'm going to be your host for tonight, and we are going to start our amazing webinar with Unisq talking about Australian ET job marketing. So, once more, if you want to study and work in the ET industry and market, this is the perfect webinar for you. I want to start welcoming everyone that is watching us and welcoming to Renata, our representative from Unisq, and Hajib, the professor who is going to give us an amazing speech about this whole universe of ET in Australia. So, first of all, welcome Renata and Hajib. Thank you all for being here. We are so happy and excited to hear all you guys have to tell us about it.
Thank you very much, Julia. Thank you very much, Professor Rajib, for joining us tonight. Well, good morning for you in Australia because he's located in Australia. It's a pleasure to be here, to have this invitation to show more about the University of Southern Queensland, to show more about our ICT programs as well. So, Professor Rajib, would you like to say a few words before we continue and I give a little overview about Unisq, and then he will continue with his presentation.
Sure. Thanks for having me. I'm also very excited to talk about our ICT programs and how we prepare, job-ready graduates in the university. So yes, we'll talk, as we go. So I'm really excited to talk to all of you, and thanks for having me.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
So now for our start, Renata will tell us a little bit about UNESCO and which are the amazing programs that they have for us. So Renata, you can share your screen, and I will allow it and have only you in our screen so everyone can see you better. So
Perfect.
I see your screen here.
Can you
I'm
see my
going.
screen?
Yes, we are
Yes?
here in the bottom, so you're.
Okay, perfect. So again, welcome everybody. My name is Renata Balaguer, and I am the in-country manager for the University of Southern Queensland, Australia. And I am based in Brazil. I speak Portuguese, but I also oversee the entire Latin America, and I can speak Spanish as well. So welcome, and I'm gonna give you an overall, an idea, a general idea. Try to be as fast as I can because I want you to hear more about our ICT programs. So I'll provide you an overview about the University of Southern Queensland and our location. Can you see my next slide, Julie? I think just to make clear that it's working.
Yes, it is working perfectly.
Perfect. So our location, University of Southern Queensland, is located in the beautiful state of Queensland in Australia. We are in the northeast part of the country, and we are also known as the Sunshine State because it has a beautiful weather, at least 300 days per year of sunlight. The capital of the state of Queensland is Brisbane, and we have three beautiful campuses near Brisbane in three different cities, in Springfield, in Ipswich, and also in Toowoomba. We have the beautiful beaches in this area in the state. The Great Barrier Reef is also located in the state of Queensland, so it's worth it visiting and exploring and studying in this region. Here you can have an idea of our location. So Brisbane is on the right, the capital of the state of Queensland. We have Unisq Springfield, Unisq Ipswich, and Toowoomba. So 30 minutes, Springfield is about 30 minutes from Brisbane. You can have easy access by train. Unisq Ipswich, you can go to this campus also by train, it's 45 minutes. And Unisq Toowoomba, around 1 hour and a half from the capital. A very interesting fact that is that in 8 years we're going to be hosting the Olympic Games in the city of Brisbane and that region. So in 2032 we're going to be hosting the Olympics. So this region has been receiving a lot of investment, a lot of constructions, a lot of job opportunities. So if you are thinking about coming to Australia and studying, this region is the place to be at the moment, especially because of everything that is going on in that region because of the Olympic Games. I would like to share with you some rankings about Unisq, and we are very proud of that. We have 5 stars for internationalization, for teaching, employability. We are number one university in Australia for graduate start salary. So our students, once they finish their studies with us, they have like most of them, they can find good jobs and with good salaries as well. We are the top 400 universities in the whole world among all universities, and we are top 58 among all young universities because we are a young university in the whole world. Unisq, as we call, we are a boutique style university. And I don't say that because we are fancy, but because we are more an intimate style of university. We're small in terms of number of students, but we are not small in terms of quality, in terms of structure, in terms of facilities. We have three, as I said, we have 3 beautiful campuses and they're all very well developed. So our classrooms are smaller. Our professors have this personal and very connected with our students so they can have easy access between student and academics from our university. We were the first university in Australia to deliver online programs. We have been doing this for many, many years. And as you're going to be saying, watching in the presentation, we are very expert in this topic, in this area of online learning. Around 70% of our students, they are online students. So we are very good and experts in this topic. Here you can have an idea of our 3 campuses. As I said, we are a smaller university, but we have 3 beautiful and well-developed campus. Toowoomba is our main campus, which is on the top, located in the city of Toowoomba with about 150,000 people living in the city. It's a rich city, well-developed. We have almost all programs are hosted. We have offered in this campus. We have on the bottom right, we have our Springfield campus, which is a modern campus very near Brisbane, as I said. We have media and communication. We have a flight simulator, one of our flight simulators in this campus. We have engineering laboratories also in Springfield. And on the bottom left, we have our Ipswich campus, which is our campus more focused in the health area. We are a very comprehensive university, so we offer all levels of education. We have English programs if someone needs to improve their English level in order to start their higher education with us, or even if they want to come and just study English, we offer English programs at Unisq. We have bachelor degrees, master's degrees, PhDs, and we have more than 100 programs at Unisq. Here, the main goal is to talk about information technology, but we offer all these programs that you can see on the screen. We offer agriculture, media and communication, aviation, so a big role of areas of study that are offered at Unisq. We have world-class facilities. As I said, our laboratories are amazing. Our facilities are really, really good. We are the only ones in Australia that has 2 flight simulators, for example, on campus, one from Boeing, one from Airbus. So you can have an idea how equipped and our university is. We also have accommodation for students. So if you want to come and stay in our accommodation, it's located in Toowoomba campus. But also we can help you and assist you if you want to study in Springfield or Ipswich. We can also help you and find accommodation in that region. Applying for Unisq is not that complicated at all. We need your proof of English proof. We need your passport, transcripts from your previous studies, and your curriculum. It's not that complicated. For next year in 2025, we're going to be offering a scholarship for international students. This is really, really good. We are offering an automatic scholarship. So once you're accepted in the program, automatically you can get that 15% of the total of your tuition. You don't need to apply for that. You just need to be accepted in your program. So I would like to share, this is my last slide. I try to be very quickly so Professor Rajiv can give his presentation. This is my contact information. You can reach me by email. As I said, I am in Brazil and I can help you in English, in Portuguese, and Spanish. So feel free to reach me if necessary. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Renata. The UNESCO campus looks so pretty. I am enchanted with it. Maybe I'm thinking
Yeah, you have
about
to come
both.
and visit us. Yeah, visit both of them, all of them, because they are
It looks so
beautiful.
pretty.
I'm sure you're gonna like it.
It looks so pretty. And now, of course, the like best part of our presentation of our webinar, we are going to pass the word to Professor Hajib, who will talk a little bit about himself and then presentate for us about the ET job market on Australia. I know you are all excited for this. And remember that we have the chat here. If you are watching us from Facebook or from our YouTube, you can send us questions in the chat and we are going to read it after the professor finishes his presentation. So I think you are allowed to share your screen, Hajib. Once you do, I will allow you for the second time.
Yeah, just one second. Just share. Just one
Here we
second.
have Danielle Cerqueira telling us the master's coursework's interesting. And yes, it is interesting, it is amazing. So you can talk, Danielle, with one of our essays, student advisors, or with Renata, and I know they will be happy to help you to know more and get to know more about it in Unisq. How is,
Um,
I'm looking
so
for,
like it's showing some
why are
yeah
you screen things? Why don't you present yourself and talk a little bit about what is
yeah just, just one second. I'll just try a
Yeah, this is something that it happens when we are not expecting, right?
yes,
Because
it was it was working like a second ago, but this kind of things happen.
yeah, I can see here that Danielle is sending a message. Thank you, Danielle. I'm glad that you enjoying the presentation. And yes, please feel free to contact one of Spiebel's consultants. And they also have my contact, and then we can schedule a conversation and try to see how we can support you with your studies in Australia.
Yes, it will be amazing.
Yeah.
I think
so can you see my screen now?
your screen is here and we are showing it. Yes, so you are good to go.
Thank you. So you can just confirming if you can see my first slide,
Yes,
like
we are seeing your first slide clearly.
launch your IT career.
Yes,
All
live.
good?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Excellent. And then you can see my next slide.
Yes, we
Yes.
can see your next
Okay,
slide.
good. Excellent. All right. Okay, then I'm good to go. So sorry about that glitch, although we have been, fixing it. But anyway, hello everyone. Thanks for joining this webinar, and thanks for this opportunity to present. I take real pride of presenting the ICT programs because I'm the program director for Master of Data Science, which have it's like my baby. I developed it from the scratch, and yeah. So, but I'm not only going to talk about only the Master of Data Science, but the other programs you're offering because as the I was also like leading all the ICT programs at some stage. So, all right, I'm Rajiv, and I'm a professor of computer science at the University of Southern Queensland,
I'm
and
sorry. I'm sorry, Professor Rajib. Sorry to interrupt you. Your screen looks frozen.
no, I'm not. I haven't gone to the second screen. I'm just still in the
No,
first
I mean,
screen.
I'm sorry, not the screen. Your
Camera.
video. Your video with
Oh,
yourself.
is that? Uh,
The presentation I could see and your voice I could hear, but your image was frozen.
Yes, I'll try
uh,
unallow it and allow it in again. Um,
is it any better? No.
no, you're frozen still
Uh, turning on and off.
and blinking.
I'm blinking.
Yes, you're blinking a
Yeah,
little
it's
bit.
blinking.
Just one sec. I maybe okay. I'll just try with.
I think you can go on. Your audio is good, and maybe
Should I continue or what should I do? Like, or should I try another browser?
Yeah, maybe. What do you think, Juliet? Maybe
I
try.
don't know. I don't know if it works this good with Firefox. The
Oh,
best
okay.
for restream is the Google. So
Yeah, I mean, we
yeah,
can
we
hear
can
you
hear
as
you
you, but we
clearly.
can see the slide. So
So all right. So I may turn out my video, and then keep going on with my presentation.
Yeah, I think
yeah,
you can.
yeah, I think it worked. Yeah.
All right. So anyway, that's all right. So as long as you can see the presentation, that's enough. All right. So okay. So like just to be a little bit background about me. I work at the intersection of artificial intelligence and effective computing, like trying to understand human emotion from the speech. And I'm also direct a lab at the university. It's called IoT Health. And I'm just I'll not go through like a very lot of details about this lab, but these are the members of my lab. Like they're from the top institutions around the world, like that I collaborate with. And I'm also very briefly like go through these are my this is in one slide, that what are my expertise and what are my work in terms of research. And obviously, like why I'm showing you this, because this is relevant, because all of the professors, all of the lecturers like teaching into the program, like they also have a very strong research profile. Because how it helps is like, because unless you are doing involved in the research in your area, you'll not be able to provide the students with the insight, or with the forward thinking, like behavior or attitude. So that's why it's quite mandated in the university that like we have to have a strong research profile in the area we teach. Okay. So yeah, as you can, I don't know how much you can see because the text are a little bit small, like and effective computing, like and speech recognition, and different like techniques for representation learning. That's what I do. So I'll probably, like if anybody's interested, I can go through it like in detail in some other like time. And some of the major projects like that we do at the IoT Health, like for example, modeling of suicidal risk progression from patient health records. So as you can see, like since I work in the affective computing, in naturally my research is also like applied to health area. So for example, mood inference and early detection of onset of relapse in mental illness. So that's another project, that these are funded projects. Real-time estimation of callers' risk calling emergency services. So when someone calls emergency services, we have developed algorithms to determine the priority of the call in real time. So like this is using deep learning neural networks, like another techniques. And detection of abusive onset of abusive calls, like after COVID, like it has really increased a lot. There are a lot of abuse, like to the call center agents, at least in Australia. So I mean, how we can detect the onset of someone's abusive behavior, and so that we can alert the agents to take like measures, so that they can be ready that there's something coming, so that they can take the measures that they are advised to take. Anyway, so you probably get some idea about the projects I do, and then the work and the expertise we have. So now we come to that's where I finish introducing myself. So then like I would like to show you some stats on the like what is the ICT job market is currently looking, and then I'll bring in USQ programs to tell you like how we are developing graduates to fill in some of the gaps that are currently in the ICT job markets. So this is like if you see this, this is showing you like a share of the Australian workers by different industries. So the health is in the healthcare and social assistance is the leading 13.9, retail blah blah blah, and then technology is sitting at the 7th position 6.6. So Australian 7 largest employer is the tech industry. So and then like, and this is a stat for from 2021. So obviously, like, the these sort of data are not readily available, very real time, so they're a bit lagging. But the trend hasn't gone anywhere, like differently, unless it, like, it has gone up even. So at the time, that 861,000, Australians are employed in the tech industry, tech occupations. And like, this is different sector wise, like how these ICT jobs are placed in Australia. So this gives you a bit of a overview. Like, obviously Melbourne West is one of the highest employer. So like, after you have your degree, you can have this stat, and then choose where you want to settle. Like, if you are planning to settle in Australia, and there are also processes for that, for immigration, and many international students are interested in that. So, and you can see it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and then it's not a small industry that like, if you're taking into the IT in Australia, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. And this will show you some of the pathways that like students take to come to the tech sector, like, or students. So, and male, female, both, like, are come to the sector. And then the female usually like are twice as likely to enter as age like 25 to 30. They're before 25 likely due to the barriers women face when entering STEM education, fields better education. So, but like, it's not only you come to the degree, but you can also like have a career change. Like, for example, if you might have done something else, like all our programs are non-cognate. That means for example, if you've done a bachelor in agriculture, for example, but you're still can be eligible to enroll into Master of Data Science or Master of Cybersecurity, because all we need is an Australian equivalent bachelor degree at AQF level, like 7, or a 5-year, like work experience at AQF level 7 for you to enter into a master's program. So, and you like, and this is very important, like, who wants to earn a lot of money. So, so tech jobs are almost amongst the highest paid in the economy. So difference. So I mean, weekly earnings is 64% higher, and hourly earnings is plus 32% higher compared to like other jobs available. And this stat is taken from 2001 to 2021. So within that period, so this stat was taken. And all right, so this is one of the most important slides. That will show you the gaps. So. That, like, if you start from like the existing jobs at the very in here, so, and the business as usual prediction and the required uplift means like, you need more worker in this, and this is in thousands. So this is 100,000 like people is needed. If you go to the projected tech jobs in 2025, by 2025 we need 100,000 more people to come to this tech job. So that's the gap we currently have. And you can imagine, after all these universities doing all this production of the students, but there is still 100,000 like skilled worker in the IT sector. Just in the IT sector we need. So I also found this information quite interesting. That's why I'm presenting to you. Like, in terms of, this is done by the Australian Bureau of Statistics. They did a survey, like, how the person count for different category IT qualifications on the left hand side has increased from in 5 years time. So you can see information technology, and NFD means not fully defined. So that means they didn't have enough information to know that which sector of the information technology the person is working. Computer science has increased 45%, programming 51%. So you can see the demand for programming, right? And information system 50 plus 51%. So this tells you some information where the job market is going, because since people are having more and more qualifications, that means there must be increase of the demand, right? So that clearly tells you, like, and this is not small, like 51.1%, 51.3%. Networks and communications similarly, 44.5%. Computer science in general 45%. And then the bottom table is something that tells you, like, different category of the occupation, and then like the percentage change. You see, like, ICT support test engineers. So that has the highest increase, 53.7%, followed by software and application programmers, and 46.9, and business analyst, system analyst, 46.7, database systems administrator, ICT security, and 44.8, and then ICT managers, 26.1. So, I mean, you see, like, like the top four, like you cannot go wrong about this top four. If you choose a degree that will equip you to work in this occupation, so like you will only be doing, and then I'll show you a little bit later how our programs are designed to to put you in the right occupation. All right, so that was a bit of a stat about the job markets. I cannot see any messages now, but when I say it, I'll see if I can answer them. But I'll keep on with my presentation. So now a little bit about the University of Southern Queensland. Renata has very nicely covered most of it. I just wanted to show you this trend, because Renata has shown you we are in the 300 to 350 range, but what might be interesting to you to see from where we have come in what time period. You see, even in 2016, we are in 600 and 800, that sort of range, 600 to 650. And then, within this, even in 2017, 2018, see, we are static, and up to 2020, we see that we are still in the 600 range. But from 2020 to 2023, that's when the university started focusing on research, innovation, and teaching innovation and everything. So you see, our ranking has exponentially gone, from 600 range to almost half 300 range, 300 to 350 range. So that probably tells you, this pattern tells you we're in the flight. And then you compare this university with other RUN university. RUN university means regional university network. We are in that network. So none of the university are as has a similar ranking. So we are now competing with the urban universities like Griffith, QUT, and these two universities are our close competitors. We actually run universities, we are top runners in that. And now our competitor is the QUT and Griffith, which are city-based university. We also started a city hub, in Brisbane. So so I mean, this is very fascinating to me. We are in the flight to do something really good, and then in next 5 years, our target is to hit them to 200 250 range in the international ranking. So now these are the key programs, ICT programs that we offer. In the Bachelor of Science, there is also an ICT major and a computer major. I'm not covering that, because they are a little bit hidden under Bachelor of Science degree. If someone wants a Bachelor of Science degree but want to do a major, there is another option. But I'll focus on these 5 programs in my presentation today. So MADS, that's Master of Data Science, you see, our programs are designed in a way to really cater for different student cohort, right? So Master of Data Science, I just revamped it, very recently to have an artificial intelligence and machine learning specialization and also a data analytics specialization. So, what is the difference between these two specialization, right? So you can do either of this. And, the structure of the program is you have 16 units, you have 8 core units, and then 4 specialization units, and then 4 electives. So the beauty of that is, if you're interested to do the courses in both specialization, you can complete, one specialization, and then for electives, 4 units, you can take, for example, if you have taken artificial intelligence, machine learning, you can take data analytics as the 4 electives, the 4 subjects. But the main difference between 2 specialization is the students who are more interested in hardcore computer science want to be an algorithm developer, for them, the AI machine learning specialization. Whereas the students are more business focused, wants to use tools and, more application of computer science, they can use this data analytics specialization. So that's how, this program is designed to cater for both cohort, because obviously all the students are not interested in programming and all the students are not interested in taking tool, but we have something for each of you, each of those groups. Similarly, Master of Computing Technology, MCTN, like it has multiple specializations. Software development, students who wants to go in the programming pathway, they can take this software development track. Who wants to be in the cybersecurity pathway or the network pathway, they can take the network engineering, and then computing technology. So these are like classical computer science, specialization. MCYS, Master of Cybersecurity, like we have a technical specialization and cybersecurity management. See, again, we are accommodated in different cohort. Some students wants to be very technical about cybersecurity, and some students want to go in the management side of cybersecurity, right? So we can cater for both of you. So so that's how it has been designed. Master of Information System, MISP, again, like multiple specialization options, like digital innovation, business analytics, managing cybersecurity, cyber risk. So see, if you want to be like cyber, like from the information systems, like cyber risk, if you want to do it that way, if you want to become a business analyst, or if you want to be digital innovation, that means entrepreneurship or that sort of like area, so then you can choose that. So see, even we are serving different segment of the student market, like who are interested in different things. So it's not just one thing we are offering within a program. Bachelor of Information Technology. So this has been designed in a way that creates a pathway to our master programs. For example, if you do software application development, a natural choice for you could be, like you do an MCTN and do the software development, like specialization, right? If you want to do a special artificial intelligence and data science, a natural pathway for you be, like Master of Data Science, you do AI and ML, and then networking cybersecurity, you can go in Master of Cybersecurity, cybersecurity management. So, this is how this bachelor and the masters are all mapped and then nicely developed together, giving you all the options. Like, I can guarantee you can go and check, like many other universities, including the GOH. So, and check for their programs, and then you'll see that this nice mapping, this centralized approach, like to have it in the ICT programs is a hard find, and go and check for yourself, because we take real good care while we develop these programs. And so, and then I want to give you a little bit more detail about, because this presentation about job ready, like graduates and everything. So I wanted to show you a little bit, like, what does it mean, like how we are doing it in a program, right? So is it just we talk about it, or we really do something about it? So, if you see the Bachelor of Information Technology, right? So that's the bachelor program. So I just give you an example on that, and that'll take you to the master's program. So see, we have 3 different courses in 3 different levels. In the first year, second CSC, CMS 1100, CSC 2000, and CSC 3600. So, this has been designed in a way that we can scaffold, like different professional attributes, and then we slowly build you up as you grow in your degree, as you, like grow in your candidature. So that means, I'll show you an example a little bit later. So we have this e-portfolio as a mandatory. That's what you start creating, and it is assessed in CMS 1100. That means it mandates you to create your e-portfolio, or like a LinkedIn profile, whatever, and you keep developing it as you go through your program. And it is not assessed in all the courses, but in these 3 courses we have on purpose, like designed these courses where we track that, how you are developing your professional attributes and job ready skills, right? We also have a career readiness survey that goes again from the first year to the 3rd year. We are never going to come to you at the end of your degree saying, oh yeah, you have to prepare your portfolio or things like that. So not that's not happening at Unisq. You will be, guided from the very beginning of your career. You'll be challenged to think that, which career you want to take, which ICT sector you want to go, and will help you develop the professional attributes through the, like activities and assessments in those 3 specific courses. So here, like I show you a bit of, an attribute that, and see how we map these attributes. For example, ICT ethics, impact of ICT. Sorry, it's vertical. You might have to tilt your head to read. And working individually and teamwork. and professional communication, professional practitioner, like ICT fundamentals, ICT infrastructure. So, and all these, the first ones are the professional ones, the light pink. So you see, and then we have to have mapping of courses of, you see, one level one means, starting. Level two means intermediate, and level three means mature. So see, how we scaffolded this in our courses in different programs to give you, to ensure that these professional attributes you develop in yourself as you're doing the program, and progressively develop within yourself, as you go through the program. So we'll never come to you and saying, okay, no, this is, read this and you will be an expert of ICT ethics. That's not happening. So we have assessment to assess you, whether you have good understanding of ICT ethics, whether you have understanding of working individual and teamwork and all this. And similarly for master's programs, for Master of Data Science and Master of, we have, this CIS 5310, that's the project management course. And that's what is and then you have this capstone project. So capstone project teaches you all those professional attributes in the mature level, and then 5310, that, and then some other courses teaches you, the other, skills in different level, intermediate, or, in the introductory level. So that means even in master program, these professional attributes or job ready skills are nicely, scaffolded, so that, you have this knowledge. And then one thing I have to mention, and then if the time permits, I'll show you some examples, later on. But in this capstone project, you have almost guaranteed to have a real industry project, and where you'll be supervised by industry people and an academic jointly. You'll be solving a complex problem in team. So pretty much that's what is job about. If you go to a job, sometimes you'll be given to work in a group, you'll be given a complex problem, you have to manage the conflict in the team, you have to learn how to divide the task in the team, and and working on an industry project. So that's what we are fully simulating when you are doing the degree with us. And it's not a simulated project, it's a real industry project. Some of our students have developed projects for the industry partners, which are now being used by the industries. So that's what we are doing in our programs. And then similar to that, Master of Information Systems has their own capstone project and their own, project management, and Master of Cybersecurity. Similarly, they have their own capstone project. But these are e-portfolio, professional attributes, career readiness are all going through in a scaffolded way from the first year to the second year. And now now these are the things, and to operationalize this and to maintain how these things are monitored and things. So we have the industry ICT advisory board, who ensures that our programs, our courses are industry relevant. That means we have to present our programs in a periodical basis to them and show and tell them what we are doing in our program, what we are teaching, what professional attributes we are hitting on. And they will tell us, okay, no, you do. They will give us feedback, and based on their feedback, we have to act on their feedback, and then have to update our programs, in a regular basis. And we also have an employability lead in his school, and the employability lead connects the, the students with the industry partners, and help, bring industry-led, course development, industry-led, project development in our programs. So that's a permanent ongoing position in the school that the university has created, ensured that the employability skills are, the students get these employability skills in their courses, when they're doing their degree. And last but not the least, we also have a strong industry liaison team who continuously works with the industry to bring those projects for those programs that I showed you. That's how we can guarantee that we will give you an industry project and work with the industry to real on. So you can see that we also have a framework or resources in place to really make sure that whatever I showed you is a sustainable, and then it's not a one-off thing. It's an ongoing thing, and we have resources in place to mobilize that. Renata, how I'm going with the time?
You still have some time, Rajib. Don't worry. You can go on
Okay.
with the presentation.
Thank you. All right. So, I wanted to show some of the capstone projects, like as an example for you, like, what the students has developed, and this is, this team developed a dashboard for RDA. RDA is the Regional Development Australia. So that's an authority. So we have, like through this student project, only in 11 weeks time, that's like that's the trimester, like they have developed this so dashboard. But like you see that like the problem was what was the requirement was like access to easy to comprehend employment data and compare with other regions. And then they requested to create a tool that displays the required data in a friendly manner, create visualization with automatic updates of data. And then what the team did, develop an automated dashboard to be displayed on a web page that shows relevant data, is straight to the point and easy to understand, right? So that means, like before I show you that, what we have done is we created a dashboard that fetches data automatically in a regular interval from Australian Bureau of Statistics or from other sites, and then like update the dashboard in the industry partners in RDA's website. So I'll take you. Yeah. So this is where the students are explaining, like the dashboard and the project. I'll take you. I know because of the time, I'll take you, like I'll show you, like what the dashboard looks like. So you see, like unemployment rate. So that's one thing. Yeah. So this is the website of Regional Development Australia, and then yeah. So hang on. Yeah. So this is the unemployment rate, and this is in real time. So and different regions and comparing with Australia. And so for example, this is in Toowoomba, Darling Downs, and Marona, so that region. So unemployment rate 1.2%, and then this is the employment rate. So what this data, where is that data? Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I think you can see that, like and employment rate and everything. So as you can see that it looks pretty simple, right? So this is just a dashboard, but the thing is, like, it's not simple. I can tell you that, because you have to optimize for the browser. Like, and the font and everything and how it looks. And the main thing was like how we periodically like fetch the data and then pump it on, like, and then put it and then refresh this page and everything. So that's what, the automation and everything the student has done from the scratch. So they haven't given any support. They are just given the students some links to the external website. From there, they fetch the data and the student has taken from there. Initially, in their website, it was just some text information they manually edit. And now they have an automated dashboard. So, in 11 weeks time, a group of 3 or 4 students have, obviously they haven't worked all those 11 weeks full time on this project. They have other courses to do. So you can see that, with the help of the industry partner, with the guidance and with the help of the academic supervisor, which was me for this project, we have, the students have developed something that the industry partner is using. So you can see the extent of industry involvement, like in our programs, and then where we can take you. And then some of these employers are looking to employ some of the students that were involved in this project because they want to, do something else as well. So this also gives many students the opportunity to work for some of those industry partners who has thrown us the project. Some of them have even supported them to do a PhD with us, or a master, or or an internship, like our internship at their company. So yeah. So when you have this in your portfolio, like you have developed this project, you can go to a job interview, you can show that, like, okay, go to this link, you can show what I've developed and everything, like, and that will put you in a competitive advantage that nobody else have, like in the market. Because in Australia, nobody cares about, oh no, I should rephrase it. People don't care too much about your degree. They care about what you can do, what experience you have, right? So when somebody comes to the interview us, we see the degree we even don't see the degree. That's HR starts to make sure that they have a PhD, like just for the sake of but we check their, like the research profile, whatever profile. So that's the Australian way of, like recruiting people. So that means if you're hands-on, if you have done something, then, like whether you haven't got it, like if you didn't have a like a grade A in your course, but it doesn't really matter too much, so as long as you can demonstrate that, like you have skills, and that's what we're trying to equip you in our programs. I have probably I will stop here, Renata and Julia. So because I have some other projects, but I think it will take a lot more time. So, but I think I think I have given a bit of overview of what I wanted to. What is that? So, yeah. So I mean, I can probably stop my presentation here and then see if anybody has any question.
Perfect, Professor. We do have some questions in the chat. Can we try to open your camera and turn down your presentation?
Um,
I don't know if this is working. No.
I don't think so, right? It's so I I better close it off. Like it's a bit weird. I'm just so if it is okay, like I just turn off my camera and start. But I
Okay.
cannot show. Can should I be able to see you? Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see at
Now
least you.
let me see if Renata can come back too. And yes. Okay. Oh, I'm so sad that your camera died. But we do have 5 questions here from now. So starting with the question from Diego Meneghetti, he asked, what's the market like for cybersecurity in Australia? It is possible for students who are junior developers to get a sponsor visa early on. I think you both, Renata and Professor Rajib, will be great to answer. I will put the question here.
So I think the visa question, Renata, you can take, but like I can take the cybersecurity. It's like cybersecurity and data science, like that both of them, and also like programming. So like software development. So if you put these three, they're hand to hand going in the same pace. Like one suggestion I can give you, go to seek.com. That's an Australian, job site, and then do a search on cybersecurity expert or do a search on data scientist. Then you can get a statistics that, what kind of jobs. Then you don't have to go by my words, but you can see yourself, what are the jobs that are being offered, and you can get some number of jobs also, like you'll get an idea that how many jobs are needed. So yes, cybersecurity is in very much demand, given that Australia had many incident of Medibank, like data breach and Optus data breach. So there are many data breach happened recently, so that has put like all the universities are now having offering master of cybersecurity, and then that also tells you that how much important and how much is the need in the market. It's important. And Renata, I don't know about the sponsor visa, so I don't know whether you have any information on that.
Hey, you are on mute. Oh, I need to. Yes. Done.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Julia. So regarding your question about the visa, I would recommend you to check that with a migration agent, because I don't have like the information about that. This is not under my responsibility, so I cannot mention anything about visa and migration. What I can tell you is that if you study for at least 2 years in Australia, there is a work visa that you can apply once you finish your program. For example, if you do a master's program in cybersecurity, once you finish the program, you can apply for a post-study work visa and continue in the country. Of course, depending on your age, and there's some specific things that you have to take into consideration. But a migration agent or even Spiegel Tech would be able to assist with those visa questions.
Perfect. Thank you, Renata. And if you are interested in work and study in Australia, you can always talk to our sales team who are ready to help you with all the process. And now for our next question, we have here Daniel Cerqueira. He asked, regarding cloud implementation, Australia has opportunities for immigrants and slash students in the tech.
Uh, cloud implement I'm assuming the question is about like cloud computing or like something like, yeah, like because nowadays like all the software we use is a cloud based, like I mean if clouds like software as a service is now a common thing. Like no, I don't know when I last used a desktop application, right? So I mean yeah, cloud architect or cloud computing expert, like those, if you mean that, whether that job, yeah, yes, so that has, because this is fundamental to anything we do nowadays, like because everything is cloud based, so that means it's not really a sector specific, like like you go to in data science industry, you go to in the cybersecurity, like any industry you go, like you work in the cloud environment, and that means that you need cloud architects or like cloud engineers to really facilitate those, and then help working in those sort of environments. So it's naturally like people have expertise, either cloud architect or the cloud like configuration or expertise in that field will have like good opportunities in Australia and anywhere in the world, like not only in Australia.
Yeah, here Daniel said that he was talking, yes, about cloud computing. We have the other comment for him. So thank you, Daniel, for uh, explaining this for us. And thank you, Professor, for your answer. We have more questions for Roger Nascimento. Roger asked how corporative education can solve this gap. I think he made this question during your presentation, Professor. So
So what is the question? Sorry.
the
How
question is how cooperative education can solve this gap.
oh, cooperative education. So what specifically is meant? Like I mean, it's a like cooperative with the industry. Like that's what it's talking about, or
Let me
uh,
see if he said anything else here in the no. So Roger, if you can be a little bit more specific for us, so we can answer your question. While I think he listens to us and type here,
so
we can for another
I
one.
think I can, in the meantime, I can take the question that Daniel asked, like, these ICT programs are related to research or coursework. So, I mean, these are coursework, Daniel. And, but the thing is, like, remember I told you, like, we have the structure of the program is 16 units, right? So the 8 units core and 4 units specialization, that is 12 units. And then the other 4 units, those are electives. You if you want to pursue a PhD, so we have some research projects, MSc 6001 and 2, that you can take as elective, that will set you right for the PhD pathway. But if you want to learn, like for example, if you have done AI machine learning and you want to learn about the data analytics specialization, then you can take those 4 subjects in data analytics as your elective. So I mean, yeah, this is coursework, but we also have a way to set you up for the research if that is of interest to you through our elective subjects. I don't know whether that answers your question. Yeah.
Uh, Let me see if they answer us in the chat. Meanwhile, we have one more question for uh, Quendel. He asked, I'm a little bit old. I'm 34 years old. It is too late to start joining this field. And I think that he's talking about the technology field.
Well, so not at all. So I mean, if you see our students, like many of our postgrad students are really mature students who are already working. And like in my presentation, I've shown you a slide that shows that in the ICT industry, a dominant portion comes as a career change. They were doing something else. They were selling pizza or being like a coffee barista, and then suddenly they started an ICT degree, and they came to the ICT field. So for ICT, like age is nothing. Like we have 86 years old still doing programming. Like so, we always invite him, to our events. But yeah, like it's definitely not late at all. Like so yeah, and especially for Australian market, where you can see that like the career change is one of the main people that coming to the ICT industry, because they see the boom in the ICT industry, and whatever they were doing like before, like, they thought, okay, maybe AI can take away our jobs, and then they're upskilling themselves, to get into the ICT industry. So yes, like, by all means, yes, you can start anytime.
That's so great. Here, Daniel said yes, we did answer his question, and thank you. So thank you, Daniel, for your question. And once more, one more from Chich, like the Brazilian soccer game player, but okay. Chich
Hmm.
asked, do you have any insights on the future of web development market in Australia, specifically regarding backend development?
Yeah, backend development, like, is always, like, obviously front end, you can use lots of tools nowadays, like, I mean, but the backend, the skill sets you need for backend, like, yeah, it's in demand. And especially if you can align yourself with the cloud, like architecture or cloud computing, and like, so then you are then you will be in a good place to come into this field. So yes, I mean, you just have to mix up your skills with a little bit of, like, in the cloud, and then obviously backend is usually, like, and then because, like, the thing, why I'm talking about this is because there's, like, there are so many now providers that gives you, full end-to-end package. If you want to develop a web portal, they take care of the backend, but those people need to employ people who can work on the back end. But as a, full-time job, like, I mean, it might be a little bit downwards, but you have to choose your battle, like, you can use your skill set in the back end to come into the cloud, or maybe cybersecurity a little bit. So, and then, like, you have a better opportunity. So if you can just mix a little bit of cybersecurity flavor into your expertise, so that will give you a complete, like, that will make you a complete package to be really competitive for the jobs.
Perfect. And one more question here. Um, this is how the rise of technologies like IA and machine learning in blockchain can impact the job market in Australia or in the whole world in this case.
So, like, I answered this question in one sentence, because I have been, like, doing many events where I'm talking about AI is not taking your job. A person who have expertise in AI and machine learning is going to take your job. So that means, like, you have to align yourself, because this is happening, and happening in a big way. You cannot stop it, right? So this is happening. So you need to align yourself and get the relevant skills, so that you can still you can replace the other person who doesn't have those skill sets. So yes, so that's the mantra now. Like, person with AI skills will replace you, not AI will replace you. So yeah, I mean that probably tells you what you need to do. And we have Master of Data Science with the AI machine learning specialization to help you get there.
He knows how to solve his university. And once more, now Roger came with the complementation for the other question that he made. So coming again from Roger's question, how corporative education can solve this gap? And then he complemented corporative education as an alliance prevailing public to solve the lack of workers for each job market. Industries could be more useful for to public management to the new area of jobs. I don't know.
Um, yeah, I mean, if you mean cooperative education for that, yeah, obviously, like, so alliance private and public sector, is that what he meant? Like, I mean, that's what I'm thinking he's talking about. So private and public sector, and yeah, but like, it's not an easy thing to do as well, because the way Australia works, I don't know how much, because most of the public sector, they what they do is they often, like, they often provide the jobs to the private sectors, and like, and get it solved, because in the, like, not many things, like, get solved in the pub. They always hire consultants from the private sector to really address the problem, like, solve the problems for them. So yeah, like, that's one approach is already being used in Australia a lot. they usually take, like support from the external consultants, to solve a problem within a public sector. So yes, that can solve the worker, like job sector. But like even nowadays, like the public sectors are allowing people to work remotely, because there's such a shortage, like in Australia. So yes, yeah, so remotely means, from other countries you can work for a public sector job in Australia. So that's, some sectors have, that sort of, shortage, like especially in the data science field.
Perfect. And one more question before we go to an end. Uh, what do Australian employees typically look for in ET candidates during the hiring process?
Sorry, what is this? Which one is the question? Can I just read it from here? What this question is asked by whom?
Yeah, I couldn't find here also. Do you have?
Oh yeah, this is my question actually, but I can
Oh
write.
yeah.
This is a
Well,
two
what?
question.
Tell me, Julia.
Okay,
What is
so
it?
my question is, what do Australian employees typically look in the IT candidates during the hiring process?
All right. In any job in Australia, they'll first see whether you fit in. Like that's the truth. That's a that's a hard truth. Like, fit in means, like they will look into your professional attributes first, because like, and they'll take into your IT. Obviously, you have to have your technical skills, but the thing is, your professional attributes are so important. That means, like you can be the genius, but if you don't have the right attitude or the right professional attributes, like they will not take you. So, I mean, the professional attributes are really important and equally important as the technical attributes. So that's why you see that, how much emphasis we provide in our programs to, like enhance the employability skills, the professional attributes. So, yeah, I mean, that's equally important. Like, the first question they, when we, after the interview, when the panel sits down, the first question the chair asks, does the candidate fit in your organization? Right. So that means fit in means whether they have the, like the right mindset, whether they come with the right behavior, the teamwork, like motivation and all this. So yes, these are very, very important, because you see, like there are two candidates with the same IT skills, same, and then whoever has better professional attributes, they'll definitely get the job.
Perfect. And for my last question, this is also a just question. For my last question, how has the increase in remote work affect the IT job market in Australia?
So yeah, I mean, although we have to do some remote jobs, but that's not like, remote means outside Australia, I mean, because nowadays, like work from anywhere is a thing in Australia. So, I mean, you can work from anywhere. And because, after, especially after COVID, like that has started very strongly. But but you can see the stat I showed you. We still need 100,000 skilled people. There is a shortage of 100,000 people, and that's the 2021 statistics. It has gone even up now. So that means, the digital transformation is happening in such a big way. Even the extensive production of students are not yet able to bridge the gap. So that means we still need a lot more IT workers, like in Australia.
Yes, and perfect. Thank you, Professor Hajib. This was my last question. I don't know if anyone in the chat has any other questions. So if you have any other question and you are watching us, please, you can send us in our chat in YouTube or Facebook or whatever you are watching us so we can answer. Otherwise, I think we are going to an end here. We didn't actually pass our time, so amazing. I don't know if Renata or Professor Hajib has any other considerations here.
No, I'm fine. It's a shame that the video didn't work. Then I can engage with the better. But what you can do about technology, right? So
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, and from my end, Julia, I would like to thank Spiegel Tech for organizing this great masterclass. And last but not least, I want to thank Professor Rajib for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have one of our academics from University of Southern Queensland joining us in this other part of the world. So it's It's a big, big pleasure to have you here and be able to explain more about our ICT programs to such a big audience in Latin America. So thank you very much. And I'm here if you need anything. I'm in Brazil, as I said. Please let me know if you have any questions. And also, Spibo, let me know if you have any student who wants to meet. Thank you.
So thank you, Renata. Thank you, Professor Haji, for your time. I am so sad that the camera start like blinking because it was working, but it was
Yes.
amazing to hear everything you share with us. There was a lot of experience and a lot of information. I know that everyone that watched it is so happy to have this opportunity too. So thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. We are always happy to be with Unisq. So thank you for this amazing opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
So bye everyone. Thank you for everyone that watches until now. And if you need us, you can always talk to our essays, our student advisors, and we will be here to help you with all the process for education in Australia and of course in Unisq. So thank you everyone and thank you Renata. I think Professor already went and that's it. Thank you for tonight.